Again, I'm Ben Wrightsman, acting president of the Battery Innovation Center. Again, thank you all for being here. I have to apologize. You probably saw some of the original agenda and expected Gary Dick to be up here, someone much more distinguished and much more well-known. Unfortunately, I got a note from him early this morning that his wife was in the emergency room. So I told him, obviously, that was a priority, take care of it, and we've got it from here. So again, we're going to miss him and appreciate his friendship, but recognize he's got something far more important today. So if you would, keep him and his wife in your thoughts and prayers. Again, I'll be emceeing the rest of the day, so the other thing to let you know is the scripts today were not well put together. I wrote them about 5 a.m. this morning for our speakers, so I've already warned them that if they don't like the intro, now they can blame it on me instead of Gary. So again, appreciate everybody joining us. So the reason for the stakeholder luncheon is to bring together all the members of the Battery Innovation Center, and I say members by our leading platinum members that are out there, along with all the levels, including our clients and customers. As we always say, you don't necessarily need to be a member of the BIC, because we're convinced at some point that you will be, and you'll recognize the opportunity there. So again, appreciate the folks you can see here who help sponsor the event, who are, again, long-standing members of the BIC for making this possible. I also want to thank all the rest of you as clients, supporters, friends, family, for joining us as well. So we, expecting a really packed event today. Hopefully you saw a fair amount of speakers on the list. Hopefully you'll get something out of that with the mix that we have coming up here from all over the United States. As a company that serves as a public-private partnership, a nonprofit, we fit into kind of the hopper with a lot of different folks. We work with OEMs. We work with startups, we work with academia, we work with the local guy and gal next door, we work with our public entities, and we work with a lot of other folks that just fit into a lot of other unique folds. So again, that public-private partnership is the key. So jumping in here, what I want to do, maybe give you just a real quick snapshot, is an update of the Battery Innovation Center this year. I'm hopeful that everybody in this room, I don't have to spend the 5 minutes to tell you about the BIC. If you don't know about us, at least those who are in this room, please stop me or one of the team afterwards. We'd love to tell you more about what we do, but to share a bit of an update on what's going on this year, and hope for you guys to hopefully share that message well about the capability that exists, and also about some of the unique capabilities of the folks that are going to present today. Our job is to catalyze technologies and to work with folks. It's not a single facet of the BIC. It's working together in a collaborative environment with our clients. So the quick intro on the Battery Innovation Center, again, just a snapshot. We're a 40,000 square foot advanced research facility that opened in August of 2013 to rapidly develop, test, and commercialize next generation energy storage systems that are safe, reliable, lower cost, easier to produce. And we partner with industry, DoD, academia in that unique nonprofit public-private environment. We focus on advanced energy buildup, testing and evaluation, along with consulting and education initiatives in that advanced energy space. The goal here is for us to, you'll hear us charge for innovation or leading the charge. Yes, I know those sound a little cliche, but we truly believe that that's what this team and our members that work alongside us are doing. So 2017 for the Battery Innovation Center, I will say, has been a whirlwind. I think the team would echo that. If you saw the size of the team, and you will hear momentarily the size of the team that supports all the folks that are in this room, along with others who unfortunately weren't able to make it today, you might be amazed to know that there's only a handful. We have a truly amazing team. But our focus and where we're looking today on energy storage is really about everything that's around us. And so my first part of my presentation here is for everybody to maybe take a moment and kind of think about that, about where energy storage impacts us and is all around us every single day. It impacts our lives in those big and small ways. A couple quick things here, some photographs. You may ask what these are. On the top left there is my youngest daughter, Brooke, and I think about how battery has impacted her life with a hearing surgery that she's had over and over again that didn't correct some of those things. The opportunity to get a hearing aid, and I always thought, As I grew up, I saw older people and I saw friends and family with hearing aids. You saw this big, gigantic thing on their ear or in their ear. And it's amazing the technology that's been capable because of electronics and because of batteries today. That little tiny pink device you can see off just the side of her ear takes care of the hearing on that left side of her ear. So again, you know, an impact that I think about batteries, how they do that. In the center there is you can see the long flat. That is the Bonneville salt flats you see in that picture. One of the flattest places on earth. You'll see there me standing with my father-in-law, Gene Carey. Gene and I have schemed and dreamed on a lot of different things. He's a tech guru and a gearhead like myself. Worked with him. He called me a few weeks before the Bonneville salt flats, and we've done a lot of crazy projects together. He called me before the Bonneville salt flats a few weeks before after watching The World's Fastest Indian. If anyone's seen that movie, apparently it lit a bug in him, and he said, "Hey, I want to go to the salt flats and I want to set a record." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "When is it?" And he said, "It's 2 weeks from today." I said, "Okay." And I said, "What are we going to ride?" And he goes, "I don't know." He said, "You're the guy who always comes up with crazy ideas. Let's go for it." So we sourced a frame on Craigslist, built the sidecar. I had a lot of good friends and family around us who supported us in that less than 14-day venue to put together a ride and take it out there. Interdell helped us with some batteries as well. Had some friends help us with some motor technology. We hand hammered the side body a day before we left to head out and packed everything in a van. And when I say packed, we packed it and drove out to the salt flats and watched my father-in-law set a world land speed record for the first time, which was pretty exciting. On the top right there, you see every day the impact. The Battery Innovation Center. That's one of our solar carports there. My 300-mile-a-day commuter is the Silver Bolt that you see sitting there. I get to spend a lot of windshield time in that, as you can imagine. But again, I think about how batteries and that critical technology transports me every day, and I take that for granted, the capabilities that are there. The bottom left, don't see any batteries in that photo. What you see is a chef standing. He's actually on a small island just outside of Aruba. He powers this amazing fresh seafood restaurant in the middle of nowhere. Literally, fishermen bring it off the boat. Powers that with solar and batteries. He's using, if you look, it's kind of scary for some of us as battery engineers, but you'd walk out there and see this pit that he has. It's got crabs and salt water and some other stuff still in it a little bit. And then he's got a huge bank of semi-corroded lead acid batteries that he's using for critical backup at night to run those lights and flicker. It's very, very cool, this guy who's kind of islanded himself in that way. In the center there at the bottom, you see the Indigo buses, the Allison hybrid buses. Work with that, working with Interdell and some friends there, to come up with a great idea to retrofit those systems. But I think about all those that I drive by now here in downtown Indianapolis as I, work and commute in Indy and head out of town, and then other towns as I go as well to see those. And then the bottom right is a good friend, Richard Hatfield, who runs Lightning Motorcycles. You may not have heard of him, but if not, I encourage you to go look him up. Lightning Motorcycle does some really cool street bikes. They've got land speed records now, have got the world's fastest electric bike, have set the bike speed record. We got an opportunity to go out and actually ride the thing. I've worked on it for a lot of years. I've worked with Richard for a long time, but to get a chance to go cruise around the Bay Area one afternoon on that was a blast. To ride along and hear nothing but wind and chain whir and the cinders from the road hitting the fenders. And driving up to cars, and you can hear the stereo next door with the windows rolled up and it's not cranked loud. You can hear people talking on their cell phone, come up to an intersection and hear people say something about there's somebody on a motorcycle. So it's pretty cool to have that complete new sensation that batteries have brought to us. So the mission of the BIC, and again, I won't drill into this too far, I'm sure you can read it, was, again, that rapid develop, test, and commercialize next generation energy storage systems. What makes us unique? Why that public-private nonprofit? It allows us to catalyze technologies by reducing those long innovation cycles. I know within the big OEMs, you guys have got some great structure, some very well laid out structure, very methodical. There's very good reasons for that, but there's also limitations that come along with that. Small companies as well, some of them have so many things going on that it's very hard for them to kind of divert at any one point what they're doing. So Our job is to help kind of take that over and give them that playground in that fast, flexible environment, very cellular to work on. We also don't hold any patent rights. So as a nonprofit, your IP stays your IP. So I can't name, I think our counsel would tell you, I think we've maybe signed our NDA once. Typically that's a customer's NDA. Again, we're all about the customer's IP and their rights. And then in that IP secure facility, as a heritage, the BIC started out originally under the leadership of Captain Lasota from Crane Naval Surface Warfare Center. Started out as a Navy kind of center of excellence, an incubator, if you will, originally back in 13 into early 14. So maintaining that ITAR compliance and having that data locked down, that facilities locked down. If you walk in, we have people always kind of jest all the time that you got to pretty much carry your badge everywhere you're going in the place. You feel like you're in a government facility versus an open collaborative environment. But again, we do that for a lot of unique reasons. So the core offerings that we do again is advanced cell manufacturing. That's everything from what comes out of the mine all the way up through advanced cell build. So those batteries that are in all those devices that you see today. We do full test and validation, both cells, modules, packs, up to systems. If you walk through our facility, you would see everything from coin cells laying everywhere, small pouches, packs, up to big lead acid batteries, to larger scale vehicle size systems. If you walk further into the back, you're gonna see shipping containers, big 20 and 40 foot shipping containers in and out of the building that are handling batteries today that we're testing and validating. And then an arena that we've really been growing from our previous leadership as well is the applied research and consulting. With all the expertise that we have and with all of our membership expertise, combining that to offer our clients a capability to take them to the next step. So that's in areas where they have gaps and they need a fill in, or they have a known area that they identified, but they don't have any resources there. So helping with materials process, safety, facilities. We've done about 16 facilities consulting at this point, helping facilities outfit. Again, our $16 million research facility was purposely designed around testing batteries and advanced energy storage. So we think we have at least a head up on most people on how that should come about to make sure that you're operating safely. And then do a fair amount of competitive analysis. As an independent third party, our job is to help you sort through the BS. No offense to the salespeople, I've been a battery sales guy as well. An opportunity to sort through all those data sheets and actually figure out what you need. And then doing the education programs as well. We have that outreach component that this is our mission, we're required to do, we need to do, and we enjoy doing for both STEM related initiatives and growing our community. So we sit in what is the third poorest county in the state of Indiana. And there's a reason that we were placed down there. One, to obviously service the warfighter, but also to incubate new technology and what should be a non-technology zone, if you will, outside of the four walls of the base. So an opportunity for us to grow the region, to grow the tech talent, to get education and others upscale as well. So what's new for this year? With the advanced cell manufacturing, we've been scaling up for larger format pouch cells. Been working on spray coating technology, some capabilities that some of our clients have been asking for. We've been hiring of additional staff. Again, you'll see the staff we have today. There's been a couple more adds, but we're looking to add some more as well as we grow and as our member requests come in. We've been upgrading the equipment in the lab. Again, as being a forefront of the industry, we have to make sure that we try to stay at least one step ahead of our client. We've had some great equipment vendors who stay with us. I can think a lot of them. I think of MegTech, IMC, Maycor, Arbin. I'm going to miss a lot of folks on this, but that you guys, we push you so hard, and that's because our clients are looking for that as well, or they're looking for the next capability. We work now with over a dozen new electrochemical systems this year alone. 6 of those are novel systems. You're going to hear about a couple of those today from some of our presenters. We also had a parity breakthrough with a client. You'll get to hear from Paige on that as well today, which we're pretty excited about her breakthrough. And then incubation of an R&D client. We had Brightvolt, who you'll also hear from today, who was a client we did work with, and they've shown some really promising technology in the rechargeable side of lithium batteries on these ultra thin film. They have a great primary business, but now working into the rechargeable business, they've actually moved into our facility and are looking to scale up that capability internally with support from our team. So again, pretty excited to have them there and to hear more about them today. On the test and validation side, we've added forced internal short circuit testing as a Japanese standard that's out there. Probably one of the few facilities today that can do up to 100 amp hour cell. When you think about that type of test, we actually have to dismantle a cell that's been properly assembled, put a little nickel particle that I guarantee you couldn't see if I showed it to you into there, reassemble the cell back properly, and then put it into a device and actually compress it to simulate that short out. That is obviously a very tough test just to do the setup and the run. It's also very unique on the backside for the capability and what's going to happen with those. So we think that's a pretty unique capability. And then adding in additional new nail penetration, drop, and fire testing rigs as we're seeing more and more demand for those needs as well. On the microgrid systems testing side, we've added additional energy storage systems to our Duke microgrid wall. Have had some help from Duke on that, and also some other folks within the industry, clients that we've worked with, adding some more, more capability there, which we think is very. At this point, we believe that no one else in the U.S., including any of the national labs, have a microgrid wall that's of that size, of that capability, and has all those components on it that's operational today. We've been doing client-side testing as well. We get a lot of requests now where people can't bring it in-house. When you talk about those big shipping containers, they want us to head to Canada, to out west, everywhere else. It's kind of hard to move a lot of that infrastructure into a building where we can go on site. So we're starting to send our people and actually packing up all of our equipment, sending that out with the expertise to help them on site and train them as well. And then cybersecurity, our friends from Clear Object, Ryan, Martina, and Chris, and the team from Jelly have been helping us on our first hackathon on the energy storage systems. Is going to happen soon. It's taken a little longer than expected with all the legal you can imagine when you're trying to hack into a system over the web, and you've got all these things in play, plus an at-risk for that system if somebody would do anything dangerous. So we're hoping to have that done here in the coming weeks. And then the applied research and consulting, that professional feedback and analysis. We've supported, again, additional facility upgrades for clients, helping them with industry best practices, safety analysis and auditing, and then equipment selection and procurement. So going through entire soup to nuts. You bring us the problem of your facility, we'll bring you the facility and all the right people, all the right training, ready to go in the box. Completion of BMS consulting for 2 major OEMs. Review of 2 consumer products for market. So these are folks that were, had tested their products, had run through a lot of capabilities, but wanted to make sure that they were ready before they put it to prime time. With the Note fires and the hoverboard fires and the Dell laptop fires, there are manufacturers and consumers who are very much watching this. They want to make sure they put that belt and suspenders in place, and so we've helped with a lot of those. And then supporting several large utilities on their community installation programs. Again, we think that's pretty unique in that space. And then on the competitive analysis side, been helping with evaluating software for a major OEM. And then we've done a couple of cylindrical cell comparisons. So think of that consumer reports model, where you pick up a consumer reports and look through that independent, unbiased review. Our job to help those folks pick the right capability. So on the education and outreach side, which is a growing arena for us, and it's a critical arena for us, the battery short courses this year, we hosted multiple quarterly courses and also hosted 2 private courses with our clients, which we think is really unique, lets us really cater to their capabilities and their needs within that education outcome. We created a new AC/DC high voltage fundamentals course that's a special 2-day session. There's a lot on the AC side, there's not so much on the high voltage DC side. We've now got that drafted. We're hopefully going to be working with Underwriters Laboratories to kind of carry that training out. And then we're also now again kind of going to that client, that remote support of the BIC. We're doing on-site training as well within customers' facilities. We've got one that's a new customer facility this year. We'll be giving them training, and then actually our team will routinely be there helping them set up that facility and train their new hires and their employees. On the electronics fundamentals, this is pretty exciting for us, an opportunity that was given to us from the local region. Kimberly Frazier and the folks from Stimulus Engineering, Radius Indiana, Vincennes University, I'm going to miss a lot of others, the county and others who helped get an initiative, got a grant going to actually support local education. Rather than students having to go to college, down in that region, you got to commute to do that. We actually they brought Vincennes University into the BIC, and we host that course. That first class will graduate this December. in just a few short weeks. We had 16 students in that who will graduate in December with their electronics fundamentals towards that double ET coursework. There are local folks who stayed in the region, and we hope to retain them. In fact, one of those we hired out of that class already. We agreed to put him in that class and hire him full-time, so he gets to work full-time and he walks out in the lab, turns right and goes into the classroom instead of turning left to go into the lab at night. A veteran who is local to the area as well. So, and we hope to do that with several others in that class as well, with Brightville hiring their local. And then we've got 20 more students that start in January, so that program was extended. So we're excited about that, to have more students join us again. And then the STEM outreach, so science, technology, engineering, math. I like to throw arts in this as well, with STEAM, which arts kind of covers everything beyond just the art that you normally think of. Being able to do the 5K, the STEM Day, helping support the local CTE Summit and College Fair with Westgate Academy. And this year, I guess in total, we've been able to give over $12,000 in scholarships to local folks. We think that's huge. Again, as we're growing our business, it's critical that we support those around us and we bring that next generation up. Strategic alliances, I won't drill into these too far, but I just want to make sure I note these. The Underwriters Laboratories has been a long-standing partner of the BIC for several years. They actually formed the UL BEST, the Battery Energy Storage Technology Test Center, within the BIC about 2 years ago to this point, and have on-site staff there and then staff off-site supporting that. We like to call him our brother from another mother. Darren is leading that charge internally with Underwriters Laboratories. Been a tremendous asset to our team. We consider him one of the fold for sure. So Underwriters Laboratories growing that capability within the BIC. As I said, Brightvolt incubating their new technology. You'll hear more about that. Duke Energy with the microgrid wall, providing the input and the insight to get that going, and then supporting that along the way. And then NavSeek Crane, again, our next door neighbor, kind of a small next door neighbor. You think about the third largest naval base in the world, the only landlocked naval base in the world. I'll get it wrong. Tricia will probably update me, but I think it's about 5,000 plus people on base there. It's pretty amazing to have the Navy Center of Excellence for Power and Energy sitting right next door as well. So a thank you. A thank you to, this is a short list this year. When we were here last year, or when we were at the venue last year, we had about 26 members. The prior year we had about 17 members. This year, as I stand on stage, we've got 89 clients and members and partners of the Battery Innovation Center. I know we forgot some logos up here. We're going to start to have a couple slides. For those of you who weren't up here, please let us know afterwards. Make sure you get up here. But again, we appreciate all these folks, all their support for being a continued part of that. And on behalf of the entire BIC team, I want to say thank you to the rest of you as well for your continued support. And if you're not working with the BIC, if you're not a member of the BIC, stop one of our team and let us talk to you and see how we work together to advance this energy storage that's all around us. So as I said earlier, I'm going to be the MC, so I'm going to stay on stage for a second. Next up is a gentleman that I've come to know as a friend, or at least I would call him a friend or a great acquaintance over the course of some projects together. A very unique individual who probably doesn't need an introduction. As we were walking around town last night, I can say most people know who he was, and you wouldn't even have to say his first or last name with his trademark beret and the mustache. He works, or a group that he helped form, M5 Industries, was a special effects company located in San Francisco, California. They produce special effects props for commercials and film, stop motion animation, robotics, and advanced prototype development products. M5 has put all manner of unique gadgets like a motorized 7-Up drink vending machine that shoots soda pop cans at people and a remote controlled shoe for Nike. It has been said that anything you can dream up, they can make it. While you may not recognize them directly, you will know their lead mad scientist and special effects expert who is best known as the co-host of the television series Mythbusters. Please help me welcome the founder of M5 Industries and Mythbuster extraordinaire, Dr. Jamie Heineman.